Football's coming home. If you either live in, I'd say, Argentina, Brazil, or France, you're in with a shout of singing that over the next 6 weeks. Welcome back to West Ham. Unofficial. I hope you are all well. It's here. The first game is done. We're going to talk about that in a little while. But we're here for a Qatar 2022 World Cup preview, where we are going to talk all things England and a little bit about that first game and everything else in between. First, before we get into it, Mike, how are you?
Yeah, good mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I've just woken up from watching the second half of that Qatar and Ecuador game. Let's bring Sean in. Sean, how are you?
Yeah, good. Gents, very good. Gonna say
You're
afternoon, evening now.
No, day gone, mate.
Sean, did you watch that earlier?
Bits of it. It was on. It did have the World Cup feel to it, in all fairness. I think people were a little bit worried about that, but when you watch it, I think World Cup games got a distinctive sort of noise in the stadium, haven't they? And obviously it's sunny there, so it sort of gave the World Cup vibe a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, former West Ham man scoring the first goal of the tournament. Put that in the cabinet. And a Valencia with a double. Should have been perhaps on another day. Could have had his hat trick, Mike.
Yeah, he scored good goals for us. I've seen him score. I've been there a couple of times when he scored for us. He was never prolific. He was used more as a wide man for us. But as you could see, the standard of that, I mean, he was by far their best player when he tells you a lot, doesn't it, really? I mean, take nothing away from the guy. He scored some real brammers, some really good goals but in his time. But, I think he couldn't have wished for a better start. Let's put it like that. Or a better team to play against.
Well, exactly. A nice and easy training game to ease Ecuador into, Sean.
Yeah. I think Qatar first host to lose ever, is it? I think
that's correct.
Obviously, they had the controversial goal disallowed a little bit in the first half, Ecuador, but it was the correct decision if you follow the rules. It was a weird one. That leg being mid-air ahead of the keeper, it's one. I've noticed that's a law that a lot of people don't know or forget quick that it's got to be two players in their goalkeeper count as a player. A lot of people, we've seen it a few times over the season. People just don't get it or just followed football for years and something they've never come across. But I don't know. It was on in the background, put it that way. But tomorrow, with 3 games a day now, I think people will slowly start to get into the World Cup. That's my fault.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's been a lot of I can't really be bothered about these sort of things, and then today, there's been a little bit more for what who would be in your favourite 11 against Iran. We're going to do that in a predicted lineup in just a second. We'll talk all things England. Hope you are well, Robert. In terms of Enner Valencia, he was too lightweight for the Premier League, I thought, and he offers some pace which we could do with at the moment, but he didn't really offer much else. Wally, hope you're well. I'm a bit concerned about England's most. Are you USA, Wally? Are you supporting USA, or are you us over with us in England? Let us know. In terms of England, then, of course, our last training session today as we get ready for the 1 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. Plenty of people booking late lunch breaks tomorrow, I am sure. Firstly, Mike, how do you rate our chances overall in the competition before we specifically talk about tomorrow?
Well, we ought to get out of this group, didn't we? I mean, if we don't get out of this group, that'll be a poor show. I mean, we get out of this group, and all depending who we play in the quarters, depends who we play in the quarters. I don't see us going much further than that, I'm afraid. I'd love to see us win it again. I'm the only one who can say again on there. Joking aside, defensively, I just don't think we're strong enough.
No, I don't think so. And even some of that. I mean, Sean, I know you'll say the Nations League games. Nobody really took any interest, or even the players didn't. But those were the last few games we had, and it just looked like that. We couldn't create chances as well. I mean, if you're going off that, then we need to see a reaction early in this competition. A, we can be solid at the back, and B, we can actually be dangerous and score goals. Sure.
Yeah, I think the last game, we struggled to score for about 3 in a row or something like that.
Hungary, we played twice, wasn't it? And then Germany, was it?
4-0 at home. Was it 4-0 at home? I think they beat us.
Yeah.
But then the last, I don't know if the shackles come off a bit, but then it was a 3-3 in the last game. Was it Germany? Was it? Was it Germany?
Germany, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just tough. He's also got to get the balance right. But defensively, I don't think we've been strong enough for a while to play a back four. I think we don't have two centre backs which can be trusted together. I don't think we've had that for a long, long time. Southgate is a bit of a back three specialist. Don't forget, he played in the back three when we got to the semi-final of the Euros in '96. He was in the back three then. We played a back three in the last two tournaments. You can't fault that. A semi-final and a final. So he should be well oiled how to get the best out of the formation. As a fan of a club who plays a similar formation as well, a lot of it is down to the wing backs. And it'd be nice if he had a very clear vision of a defensive back five and an attacking back five. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're gonna play every game, you're gonna play Luke Shaw at left back, and I do like Trippier. I hope he plays him, and obviously Reece James is out. When we need to go for it, then they need to have that attacking option. I know Luke Shaw scored in the Euro final, didn't he? Arriving late, so a lot of it does come from the wing backs. And then if he, I think if I was going to pick a downfall, what I didn't like in the teams when he's in the past tournaments, the centre midfield of Rice and Phillips, they're both doing the same.
They've got to play Bellingham, surely.
Yeah. He's bound to play Bellingham. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're both doing the same sort of thing. So it should be Bellingham. And then it just depends whether he does a 3-4-3 or sort of a 3-6-1 sort of thing.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in just a second. But overall, what would you be happy with now, Mike? If I said, "Yeah, we're going to get this far," you go, "You know what? I'm happy with that. That would do."
Oh, I'd only be happy if we got to the, a semi-final at least, but I think there's four. I mean, when you get to the quarterfinals, you've got a chance because it's knockout football then. I mean, a lot of these games are going to be really, really tight. Today, I mean, there was a goal-fitting class even between those two teams. But in most of the games, they're going to be tight. They're going to be tight affairs, and we're going to have to break teams down. But also, we got to stay tight at the back because if we lose one, these teams are very good at shutting up. I mean, if we go down, these teams are very good at shutting up and stopping us from scoring. That's what worries me. When I say we struggle defensively, it is because, like Sean just said, I can't think of two centre-backs that are in great form, two English centre-backs that are in great form at the moment. But you've got to be tight at the back. A lot of games, you just might have to even go for a draw. Do you know what I mean? But then we got to hit teams on the break, or we got to have players that are good enough to break teams down that sit back in. I don't know. It worries me a bit. There's just a couple of little bits missing, just bit the puzzle. I'm afraid, in my mind. But hey, if we get to the quarterfinals, like I said, you're in the shout. Then it's just knockout football.
Yeah. Let's take some more of your comments. Lawrence, hope you're a USA takeover. Hello, everyone from Lexington, Kentucky, USA. Come on, you Lions, up the USA. Wally says, honestly, I think England and either USA or Wales go through, all depending on USA versus Wales. Well, I think that's a big game tomorrow because you'd think on paper Wales probably go through, but if USA win that tomorrow, Wales are fully on the back foot then, and who knows? Thank you very much, Sharky, for a bit of for a bit of Englandness. So Sharky's replied to the Q&A question, which was, can England bring it home? Sharky says USA will be the toughest game possibly. Wales would love to beat England though. The home nations always seem to turn up against us. We'll talk about the Wales game obviously nearer the time. But in terms of Iran, then just before we get into a lineup predictor, Mike, I'll start with you. Should be beating them.
Of course we should be beating them. Yeah, we should definitely. But there's no such thing as an easy game, when you get that far in. I think Qatar, they wouldn't have got there, if it weren't for the fact they're the host nation, So we've seen an easy game today. But I don't think you're going to see many more where the golfing class is going to be that much different. One team might have a bit of luck and bang in 3 or 4. It might happen on the odd occasion, but a lot of them are going to be cagey, tight affairs. And I think, around a no mugs, but we should beat them.
Yeah, obviously you love when I say we should be beating this team, Sean, in terms of West Ham. But are you going to use the phrase "we should be beating Iran"?
No. It doesn't mean a lot, but I think it's the only group where all 4 teams in the top 20 in the FIFA rankings. So on paper, which doesn't mean a lot in the FIFA rankings, it's 3 tricky games. If you look at Iran's the last couple of years, they don't concede many. They don't, even when they play the better sides in friendlies, they don't let many in. So I think it might be a 1 or 2-0 victory if I was going to pick and I think we should be happy with that and move on. Saying about cagey games, I think coming in like a mid-season World Cup and some team, you don't know what the fitness levels are like. You don't know what Southgate's or any of the coaches are thinking long term. The groups could be a bit messy. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not many classic games. Do you know what I mean? I don't think not many might want to go flat out in the first game. You might probably the quality of the teams might not start shining through until the knockouts. Wouldn't surprise me. Bear in mind, if we get through in the last 16, we play the teams in the Qatar game, and obviously it's Holland and Senegal tomorrow, I think it is.
Senegal, yeah.
So we'll
Sadio
take
Mane.
someone from that group. So it's worth keeping a little eye on that. We go from there. But yeah, I take a narrow win and move on and slowly warm into the competition. Like I think we've been quite lucky. We haven't lost any. I think Argentina have lost 2 or 3. France have lost 3 or 4. Southgate
We've
said
lost some fullbacks, though, haven't we? You know, we've lost Reece James. Who's the other one we've lost?
Chilwell's the other one.
Chilwell.
Yeah.
Chilwell's more of I'm a big Reece James fan, but I think Chilwell's more of a loss. But he's been out for about a year. He missed most.
Yeah.
He come back for a couple of games, I think, and that was it.
Yeah, because he's a good he's a good left back. I think he's quite good going forward as well. Put a good ball in. You take him away. We taking one left back? Who's
Trippier can go over there as well, can he?
Yeah,
can do it over there.
I'm never a fan of that. I know he's done it a few times. Trippier's just always in straight away. I don't like that ever.
Yeah. We've done that before, haven't we? Where we've ended up with 2 right backs on the pitch and put Shaw on the bench, and you're like,
you've had 3 right backs on the pitch before if you can't Carl Walker. So the left side. Like I said about wing backs, didn't he play? I'm sure in one of the last Nation League games he played Saka there, didn't he, on the wing back, left wing back?
Yeah.
And everyone was in uproar about that because he's one of the forwards in the Premier League at the time. But like I said, you need a defensive option. I know Shaw scored in the Euro final. I don't think he's the attacking option really. So that's again, it's a bit of a worrying area in the left side for me a little bit.
Yeah, right. Let's fire through these comments and then let's go on to our lineup prediction. Then Kent, hope you well. Quarterfinals for England. My lineup for tomorrow is Pope, Shaw, White, Stones, Trippier, Rice, Bellingham, Mount, Saka, Kane, Rashford. Southgate won't play this team. 2-0 win tomorrow. Sharky says Trippier at right back, Shaw at left back. Right then, so let's go on to a lineup predictor then, courtesy. Oh, we don't want that one. We want that one. Courtesy of Sky Sports. Right, we've got every single formation the world has ever seen here. So what do we want to go for? Do we want to shout one out, Mike, Sean?
I think the formation, he's going to play 5 at the back, or whether you want to call it 3 at the back and 2 wing backs. I personally feel he's going to play that. I don't know about you, Sean, but
yeah, he's like 3 at the back since he's been in the job. I think about a year ago we had a run of games. I think one game he tried like 4 different formations in one game.
Yeah.
Gone to the 4. I think he did, but he's gonna. I think you might as well just put in 3-4-3 because it's going to be a rough.
That's what I got here.
Yeah, that's how it'll be.
3-4-3. We will go with that then. So I'm not quite sure how this works because I haven't tested it. So let's just click on the goalkeeper. Right, here we go. So, I mean, what should we go with? What's more beneficial? Should we go with what we want or what Southgate wants?
Are we going to guess his team first?
Do guess his team. You might as well.
We're getting a team, and I think we'll all agree on Pickford and goal, won't we?
Yeah, we'll go. We'll go Pickford and goal.
Southgate pick him, he'd be my pick as well.
Yeah. That's not
and me as well. Yeah.
So the first centre back then, or of the 3, shout them out.
I think he'd play Dyer.
I think on the right side, this is the right side, isn't it, Jake?
Yeah.
I think at the start, because this is going to change through the tournament, Walker's injured.
Yeah.
I've got a hunch you'll go with John Stones on the right of a three.
Do you agree with that, Mike?
Yeah, he could do. Yeah, yeah.
So then in the middle,
I think that'd be Eric.
you reckon?
I think
Eric? Where is
I
he?
think
He's not there.
Dyer.
Where's Eric Dyer? Oh, he's at Dyer. He's not even there. Oh my lord.
I think he'd pick Dyer, Maguire, and Stones. That's what I think he'd pick.
Yeah, that's your back three. Mike, agree with you.
Yeah, Dyer, Maguire, and Stones. Right. So we're just going to imagine Eric Dyer's there. I don't know where Eric Dyer is on this thing, but that's crap, Sky Sports. Mike, I should have tested this before we came on.
We should have had a little crack at this, James.
Yeah. We're live, people. Right in the midfield then. So the two holding, are we agreeing on Rice and Bellingham?
It's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Right. So they've got Rice and Bellingham there. Right. There's Rice. There's Bellingham. Perfect. Right then. So what's that out? Is that one there? Is that the right? The left?
That's your left.
The left?
Yeah.
Left hand side of midfield then. Who are we going for?
We've only got one choice, haven't we? We just spoke about it.
It'd be Luke Shaw.
We've only got one option there, really, I think.
Yeah.
Why is Eric Dyer down as a midfielder?
I think it's because he said. I think because he said he'd play and go, isn't it?
There's Eric Dyer. Yeah, we can put Eric Dyer in. He's down as a midfielder. There we go. Well done, Sky, for putting him as a midfielder. Right, Luke Shaw there. On the right, are we going Trent maybe or Trippier? Trent or Trippier? Fight it out.
I think he goes with Trippier.
Yeah, I do as well. And he'd be my choice as well.
And he would be mine as well.
Right, where can I find Trippier? Right, there he is, Kieran Trippier. Okie dokie then. So the front three, we'll just put Kane in up top because we know that's going to be there. So then on the right, who are we going for?
Now that's a difficult one. That's the one. I think he'd go with Sterling.
Go with Sterling. Sean, agree?
Yeah, I do. I've got an issue with other than Kane. I think he will go with Sterling, and I don't know if you want me to play the other side. I think he'd go with Sterling and Foden personally.
So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
My issue with this is I think we've seen it a few times. Kane's going to be almost playing as a playmaker as well. He does it.
Yeah.
He does it for Tottenham. He does it for England. Blah blah blah. The problem is because he will drop in that midfield and spray the balls to the wing back. He cannot make up the ground. So that always means whoever he goes up front, the other two, we've got no size about us at all.
No, you're right.
So we've got little lads about not much over about 5'5". Whoever, even if he goes to Sacco, he offers the same sort of threat. So this is always my concern, really. Kane's probably in that team. He's probably the best passer of the ball we got. So he has to play the playmaker, or he does. But yeah, it's just how many we can get in the box. If Kane drops, then we want Bellingham butts in a gut, don't we? And like I said about the wing backs, if Kane sprays it wide to Trippier, then we want Shaw bombing in to get on the end like he did in the Euro final. But yeah, I think that's the team you got there. Like I said, he could tweak it a lot. He could take out Sterling and chuck in a Mount if he wants a bit more possession, maybe,
or a Saka.
Yeah, I think it's always Saka or Foden. I think at the moment it's always one or the other.
Yeah. Do you think that Southgate's right to preference Foden, Mike?
I would personally go with him, and I think he'd probably go with him. But like Sean said, the one I did forget that he probably is pretty loyal to his mate.
Yeah. Yeah, so then hopefully I can't move these players around. So hopefully you can see my mouse. So then you'd try and maybe you drop Bellingham and you just have Rice sitting and then Mount kind of as that number 10 because then Kane's going to drop in as well. Mind. Yeah,
I like we all know what Harry Kane does. He will drop back in there, pick the ball up, and he can ping them balls over the top. Yes, it's whether he's going to get. I don't know whether he's going to get quick enough to get back in the box. If he knocks out someone like Sterling, I mean Sterling is. I don't think he's been playing great this season. I don't think he's been in great form, and I probably wouldn't pick him, but I think he will pick him. I don't know. Yeah, that does worry me. Yeah, that little, that step of Kane dropping back in and knocking it to Sterling. I mean, Sterling's got to go on his own almost, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think the loyalties.
Folding for
Go
a
on,
tackle.
Mike. Yeah.
But we ain't going to win nothing in the air for them to.
Yeah, I think the loyalties would come out, obviously Pickford, which I would agree with, I would agree with, because I think Ramsdale has been a little bit questionable this season, and Pope, well, you can make your mind up with that, but I think it should be Pickford. So then here, obviously, as Sean, as you said, you want Shaw and Trippier bombing down these sides. Hopefully, they won't have to do too much defending with three, well, pretty average centre halves there. I mean, you mention it every week, Sean. Dyer without Romero, could we see a different Eric Dyer?
But Dyer's, I think, the only. What might be wrong? I think of all of our defenders, and we've got about 8 of them. I think Dyer's the only one that plays in the back 3 for his club. I think.
Right. Yeah. You think so? Yeah.
And he's been poor since he got the England recall. But in the year when he's been out, it's not easy to get a recall to an England squad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 28, I think he is. Not easy. So he's no brainer in the middle. He is a bit. He has got that clumsiness about him. Yeah. As a spectator, you might think he looks a bit awkward, but when he was out of the Tottenham team last season, we lacked his leadership. Do you know when you watch a player, maybe a bit like what Royce does in midfield, he hasn't got to run anywhere. He's just pointing his arms and sort of, do you know what I mean? That sort of influence on a field, and he's got that. He might have a few ricks in him. So I think in the middle, that suits having him in there. I think as the tournament goes on, I think he might, depending on how these back 3 goes, I don't know if he might even change it for the group games, but he might want Walker in on the right if he's fit. I think right of a 3 will probably suit Ben White as well, because he's
Ben White. We haven't even mentioned. Yeah, he's played well. So
he's played multiple positions, but none of these clubs play back 3. Don't forget, people moan. I haven't read any of your comments. I bet a few of them are moaning about us putting Maguire in, but don't forget that was when he was at his very, very best for England in the World Cup on the left of a 3. And when you play left and right of a 3, well, it's what Conte wants, I think, and England as well. You need to be a bit more progressive bringing the ball out if you're on the left or right of a 3. If the ball comes in, you're going to be a bit more aggressive as you go and attack it. You might give away a few fouls, but that's the role you do when you're on the wide position of a 3. So I think that I'll be surprised if that's not the 3 for the first game.
Yeah, a couple of flaws to take into consideration here, in my opinion, Mike. So you've got this back 3 here. There's not a hell of a lot of pace in it. I don't know whether Southgate will want us to play a more high line or sit more deep. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it's just as we get deeper into the competition, perhaps with some more pacey and better quality wingers bombing down there, and I think perhaps if Trippier and Shaw are going to try and commit themselves more attacking wise to try and support this here. This might be obviously where we could see us opened up a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're going to play it a bit cagey, like Sean said. Dyer is used to playing that formation with Tottenham, and he'd be talking to the fullbacks. He'd tuck the fullbacks in, and it'd be a back 5 for big parts of the game. But when we get the ball, then that's up to those fullbacks then to go and hug the touchline, get the ball. And you're right. The 2 wide defenders are more like half a fullback, aren't they? Really, they got to be better with the ball. They got to be good with the ball. They got to make good passes out to these guys or in the midfield, and get that little triangle going. But you look, the only defender with real pace is Kyle Walker, and he's not fit. You got Cody, which I think he's just there as a G-up man. You know what I mean? His lack of pace.
Cheerleader.
Well, he's another one with a lot of knowledge playing in a back 3.
In a back 3, yeah.
Hey, don't get me wrong. He's played a lot in back 3, and I like him. He's a good leader. He can spray a pass, and he's an organiser. But if you get a quick forward up against him, we've seen him a couple of seasons ago when he was playing for Wolves, and like Antonio just went past him as though he was scared there. I mean, if he gets side on, or he gets flat-footed, he'll get skinned every time. But you just hope he's got the sense to put himself in the right positions and not get caught in those positions.
Yeah, how Southgate's going to set these up, because he can be a bit negative. I'll be surprised if you often see a 1v1. So if one's getting turned, you'd expect one of the other three to be not far away.
Yeah.
But so touch wood, the lack of pace won't be that important.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if they position themselves right and the back five plays it right.
If we go past the quarterfinals, it'll be because we're well organised. We're not like if you I expect you've had a little look through. We could play here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
If it all goes to plan, we probably play France in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So we're not going to outplay them. We'll have they'll be marking Mbappe, so it will be all about how organised we are, and probably try and do them on the counter of a set piece. So we're going to rely on tactics at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
A couple of honourable mentions before we move on. Ben White could get a look in, but again he hasn't got a whole lot of knowledge in a back three. I think perhaps because of Sterling's poor form and honourable mentions, maybe we've got to go to a Mount or a Saka down that side. But apart from that, I can't see too many more changes. With obviously Rice will sit and Bellingham will be the more progressive of the midfielders. I don't think Rice will have any grumbles for that, Mike, as long as Southgate doesn't take him off in the 70th minute for Jordan Henderson again.
Oh, well, that was the biggest mistake he ever made, wasn't it? I mean, Henderson was just kicking for touch. I don't know what happened when he brought him on. Honestly, I think, like Sean says, tactics, keep it tight. We got a chance on a break. We might have a chance on a set piece or whatever. But also another thing that comes into it is substitutions and how he uses them. We need to keep a little bit of firepower up our sleeve. The likes of someone like Grealish to come on. There was a clamour, wasn't there, in the Euros for everyone wanted Grealish. They wanted him in the start.
Grealish haven't even mentioned.
You haven't heard that at all this season because, I know he's not the main man at Man City. He plays more of a bit part role, and at Villa he was the main man. But I don't think he's got any worse a player from then. But I think he's only going to be used as, an impact sub.
Yeah.
And that's using impact subs.
Oh yeah, definitely. Using that lineup, Sean, how far do you think that gets us?
That gets to the quarterfinal.
On penalties.
When you look at the team on paper, my concern is a little. Watch West Ham a lot. Something I always say, which I'm not a fan of, is Rice sits very deep. Souček's, there's a lot of space in the middle. Souček's got. I'm looking at that now, thinking if Rice sits deep like he does a bit for your lot, I can't see Southgate giving him more of a license, even though we've got a back throw. Just can't see it. Okay. I think that team there, if we want to go a bit further, we probably need to. You'd probably be then leaving out one of the front two, the small lads in the front, and then you probably drop in a Mount, and then we try and keep a bit more possession game. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But that team there, I just don't think we got enough in the midfield to go very deep. Personally, even though if we do go really well, the likes of Foden, who's a brilliant player, but I've been kind of waiting for him to go to the next level for about 18 months now. Just go out, but look, and he hasn't quite done it. Bellingham's getting better and better and better. If we want to go really, he's been tipped for this golden ball thing with a lot of people, the young player tournament thing. Him shining could push us on. You don't know. Him and Rice in midfield could click, and we could have the best midfield in the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? It could happen.
Yeah, they're both good ball carriers. That's the thing. Rice is a strong ball carrier,
powerful.
But like you're saying, is he going to be given the reins to go and do some of that?
I wouldn't have thought so.
Because there could be games where we're going to have to say, right, take the reins off him. He's a strong ball carrier. He don't get shoved off the ball. When he did that in that Euro semi-final, I think he did more ball carriers, than he ever had done for England. And I think down the line, cutting back in, carrying the ball out, and then all of a sudden we sat back. and that's how we lost that game.
Yeah. And I think as well, it's because we were all mentioning, certainly as West Ham fans, looking at Rice in that Euros, we all said how deep he was sitting and how he did have the shackles on, and he wasn't allowed to pass that halfway line. And when he did a couple of times in that semi-final, all of a sudden he was hooked off. Whereas West Ham, he's told to sit, but if he goes, nobody asks any questions, because usually something good gets out of it. And sometimes if we're lacking that bit of creativity, just tell Bellingham to sit for a minute and let Rice get the ball and let Rice carry it and go and bring us up the field, because maybe that's what we'll need if we're flat and a bit and a bit void of chances at times. Let's take some of these comments very, very quickly. Some of your lineups: Trippier at right back, Seashore at left back, Dyer and Stones for me if we're going to play a back four, which I don't think we will. Plenty of Pickfords in here. Maguire and Stones, Dyer and Maguire. Ramsdale's going Roberts going Ramsdale, Shaw, Stones, Cody, Trippier, Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Mount, Saka, Kane. Kent says 3 at the back, and Southgate is very negative. He's the international version of Moyes. Should be going for the throat tomorrow. I don't disagree with it. I do disagree with it because the fact is it's going to be more a 5 at the back than a 3 at the back. I want to see those full backs bombing down that side. If they don't, and if they're told to sit more, then I don't think it's too negative. But it got us to a semi-final and a final, as Sean said a little bit earlier on. He likes his back three, and it's been relatively successful under Southgate so far. But then again, you could say some of the dire performances we had in the Nations League campaign last year. WC58 says, even though I think this is Southgate's team for tomorrow, Trippier, Pickford, Trippier, Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Rice, Bellingham, Mount, Saka, Kane, and Sterling. Gary says, evening, a lot of crap players in there. Oh dear. Sean, what are you going to say there?
A lot of people seem to want the back four, okay, but I think most people agree we don't have. You said about the lack of pace, Jake. We can't play 2 in the back then if none of them are quick.
No, I agree.
They're sort of picking like dream teams, aren't they? Like what they want.
They're getting a bit carried away, I think, if we're thinking we're going to go out with the back 4.
If he plays back 4, he's going to go 4-2-3-1. And he'll probably sit Rice and Henderson in front of him. So people going for Rice, Mount, Saka, Foden, Sterling, all of the exciting players. That's not going to happen although it can be frustrating, I do sort of get it. If you're going to play a back 4 and you've got 2 centre halves you don't really trust, you're not then just going to sit Rice in front of him and then pick all the little attackers. That makes no sense, does it? So I do get it that he's either got to go with a back 3 or he goes with a back 4 and then 2 holders. It's going to be one or the other. And if you think about it sensibly, you can sort of understand why he's got to do it. Because otherwise, you're going to just let in 2 every game. Remember chasing it.
Southgate and Moyes 2-piece and a Potter to HG58. Of course, Ben White did play in a back 3 in his Brighton days. I forgot about that, so maybe that might be utilised, especially with him coming back into some form. Good point, Kent. Claudio, all the way over from Italy. Ciao. Hello. Pickford, Stones, Maguire, Walker, Rice, Phillips. Oh, that's the first Phillips of the day. Foden, Mount, Grealish, Sterling, and Kane. Come on, England. Well, there we go. I'd be incredibly surprised if we see any sign of Phillips involved in the whole of the World Cup, to be honest with you. But we'll have to wait and see. Daniel, thank you very much. Watching from Australia. Hope you are well, sir. Quarterfinals versus France or Denmark. If they win, England will win it, I hope. Denmark, a dark horse, I think. I don't think they'll beat France to get there, but Denmark are certainly a dark horse for this competition, I think. But there we go. So, any final thoughts before we wrap things up about the games or predictions? I forgot about predictions. Mike. Ooh. Oh, I tell you what, I'll go first.
You go first, Jake. Go on, Emma.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Of course, the rule is that nobody can pick my prediction. That's why I try and go first if I remember. I'm going to go for West Ham 2. West Ham? Crikey. It's been a long time.
No, we won the World Cup in '66, Jake. You forget.
I'm so saying West Ham, Aussie. England 2, Iran 0. I think I've nicked somebody's prediction now. I don't know who. Who wants to go next?
Go on, Mike. You can go next.
1-0, I'm going.
Come on then, Sean.
I'm going to go 3-0. Harry Kane to win a penalty because he's clever and these refs. He could have a field day with some of these refs on the World Cup.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there we go. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Put your predictions into the chat and we will read them out. Claudio says, if England show the character of the Lionesses, England can win the World Cup. Maybe we can do the, what's it called? The something double. What's it called? The World Cup double. Oh, well, no, because they didn't win the World Cup, did they? Clinching at something here. The
Euros, check some.
Yeah, Euros and World Cup, England women and men double. There we go. Good stuff. 1-1 draw to WHU58. You're not filled with confidence then, WHU58. There we go. 1-1, 3-0. Key your predictions coming in. Final thoughts then, Sean, to you first.
Just looking forward to the tournament getting going, really. Wouldn't think too much in it. Obviously, we got to get the win. I wouldn't over destroy it if it's a dull game, to be honest. It's not ideal for any club going out there, is it? So, yeah, I wouldn't bash. If we scrape a 1-0 with a 80th minute penalty, I wouldn't bash us too hard. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird tournament for the players first watching. So, yeah, just get the win. And then what we got another, is it Friday night we played, don't we, against USA?
I think so.
Then we got another 4 days. The plan for that was just get the points.
Get the points indeed. Mike?
Yeah, just the points over performance, really. Just get, let's just get a win and get off to a start. And then they need to take a bit of pressure off themselves, don't they? That's what they need to do. A lot of games. I can see a lot of draws in these first few games. But I just hope we can scrape a win.
Yeah, let's hope so. This game doesn't at all need to be pretty. We just need to beat these sides. That is the bottom line. England's midfield in Rice and Bellingham is quality. Yeah, you can't disagree. Can't disagree at all. Of course, there will be no watch along tomorrow for the England versus Iran game because obviously I'll be at school. But don't you worry, I'll have some way of seeing what is going on for sure. Late lunch break, Sean and Mike.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lunch. I think somewhere near Wincanton tomorrow.
I'm gonna have to see. Sometimes I'm home by 1 o'clock, so I'm open.
Very good. So for the members, I'll be bringing the Matchday Natter to you tomorrow morning to keep you up to date there, so you can watch the Matchday Natter if you're a member of the channel. But yeah, I'll have some sort of review, whether it's just an uploaded one or whether we'll come live tomorrow night to dissect it all. You will have to wait and see by clicking that notification bell to be notified every time we upload a video. Have a look at all the prediction videos that are going up. Sean's one is up on the channel from earlier. I believe, Mike, your one is on the way. I believe I've got it. But yeah, that is they are going up through the night as well. So make sure you check in and watch all of those. And here's a little game for you. If you want to have a good night, take a shot every time somebody says Mbappe to win the Golden Boot. So yeah, watch them. Sean, did you say Mbappe for the Golden Boot?
No, I've got a few out. This is going. I thought we've been trying to say goodbye about 3 days.
Oh well, I get left on.
Yeah, go Sean.
I'm trying to think a little bit clever. I've had a couple of little bets. I know this is a under 18 show a little bit, but I've had a couple of bets.
You're usually on with Josh, so you can't say anything like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've had only a couple of quid, mind. I've had a couple of quid on Richarlison, Golden Boot. You don't know. They got so many forwards. You don't know who's going to play, but he's currently got the number 9 shirt. I think he's got 6 in the last 7 games for Brazil. Obviously, he hasn't quite 5 for Tottenham. Not that he's played through the middle, but he's got the number 9 shirt. And the other one I went for was Memphis Depay, the one that Barcelona now used to be at United.
Yeah,
his record for Holland at the moment is outstanding. And of course, they're in the same group as Qatar, Senegal. So on paper, that's one of the easier groups for the obviously Holland the favourites to be in. So usually the Golden Boot don't take any more than about 6. So
yeah,
I think Kane got 4 in the group last time, 4 or 5 just in the group. So go for an outside, a bit of fun.
Yeah, Mike, I'm hoping you've gone for Enna Valencia, to be honest.
Yeah, he could get a couple more, couldn't he? And someone could scrape it with 4 goals or something. Yeah, but you never know.
Certainly don't.
You get it.
Surely school will let you watch it. I haven't heard as of yet, but we're going to try and tomorrow get one of the bloke teachers who's into football to stick it on at lunchtime for the first half, and then we've got photography period 4, so we might have a little bit of a watch of that as well. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, hopefully. But you know what school's like. 4-3-3 with Henderson, Rice double pivot. I swear, if I see a Henderson,
No.
if I see a Henderson in there, I'm afraid, mate, it's going to be a long old campaign with Bellingham further forward and a 3 up front. But we all know Southgate go for a back 5. We certainly will. Right, there we go. To Sean's delight, I am going to end things. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you are new. We will try and keep you up to date as best as possible throughout this World Cup. So stay tuned and stay clicked in right here on West Ham Unofficial. Sean, Mike, thank you very much indeed.
See you, gents.
Hey, guys.
We'll catch you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Come on, England, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.